Idaho Drought Plan provides current and historic information, guidance, and framework for managing water shortage situations in the Gem State. While comprehensive, this plan hasn't been updated in over 20 years. We're seeing an increase in population. As you know, it's one of the highest in the United States, and we're also seeing increased drought conditions. So from your experience and your standpoint, why exactly hasn't the Idaho Drought Plan been updated in over 20 years?
Since the early 2000s, we haven't had that kind of deep level of drought. And so there's been a lot of talk about updating the plan.
David Hokema is a hydrologist with the Idaho Department of Water Resources and the state drought coordinator. He's been with the state for just shy of 10 years. He says to understand the Idaho Drought Plan, you need a lesson in Idaho drought history, and that begins with the year this document was created.
The initial drought plan, from my understanding, was initiated in '77, which is the driest year we've had on record. It's been termed as the winter without snow, and it really initiated drought planning and water resource planning, especially in the drought realm in the state.
The plan was updated again in 1992, when significant drought conditions hit the Gem State once again.
And the state came in and, from a non-legal perspective, got involved in a lot of mitigation, including taking water trucks to certain communities to deliver water. It was pretty drastic, and they allowed a bunch of emergency wells to go in because people didn't have enough water to irrigate their crops. It was a really dramatic experience. And so the drought plan got updated again around then.
The most recent update came in the early 2000s.
One of the basic things that came out of that plan was the Idaho Water Supply Committee.
Every month from January through April, the Idaho Water Supply Committee presents and discusses drought conditions across the state with both state and federal agencies, as well as other entities that are interested, including the Consolidated Farm Service Agency and the Idaho Power Company.
And they get more interested the drier it gets.
Drought develops over time, and these monthly discussions over Idaho's water supply are meant to bring collective awareness of our state's water supply and drought conditions.
And that way, if we enter back into a major drought cycle, hopefully everybody will be more prepared and be able to coordinate better with the governor's office to deal with drought as it develops.
Here at home, our drought concerns, Hokema tells me, are focused over the Big Wood Reservoir and the Big Lost Reservoir. He tells me that shortage of water in the Big Lost Basin is expected to run out in July or August, and then consumers will rely on groundwater, and users at the end of the basin who rely on surface water may run up dry. On the Big Wood River, there's outlook that the dam will run out of water at the end of July, possibly into mid-August.
Without a wet spring, they're certainly going to be short.
Hokema tells me that drought concerns right now are low.
We actually did really well last year, so overall the water supply looks pretty good, except in the Big Lost, Big Wood, and then a number of the smaller systems coming out of the border area with Idaho and Nevada and Idaho and Utah.
But there is concern for years going forward.
They shouldn't have an issue this year, but we could really see the aquifer decline drastically this year.
Sarah Jacobson, CBS 2 News.
Now, coming up tomorrow, Sarah dives into Idaho's current drought conditions, what state water managers are doing to directly address those concerns of drought.